Hi, Living in Boulder vlog for September 12th, 2019, Thursday. It's 9:46 p.m. right now. So, yesterday I did the video sometimes in the morning, I think. That was for yesterday. I think I'm pretty diurnalized. I get to sleep maybe at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I get up at 10. I was diurnalized getting up super early for a few days, and then it kind of starts to creep later, and that's where you get nocturnalized. So it's nice to be diurnalized. Um, so yesterday, I think I got into wanting to make all of the dates, the numbers, a link to get it to the top part of the horizontal part of the kingdom. But then I noticed today that a lot of them, I think on the AD, I made it already, where you actually click on the king. I think it makes the king look a little bit different, but some pages it doesn't deform it too much, and others it does. So I decided to just leave it. But I should go in later and make sure that just to make it consistent, every single number is the link to the top, because I can go and make every page so that the links are all black and the numbers are black anyway. So it's perfectly convenient to make all the numbers black, links black, and so yeah, I might do that. But it already works. But then I got the idea today to do the other link, which I thought about doing before, like back in 2011 when I was working on the site. Timeline, I was thinking to myself, oh, if I could do whatever I wanted, what I'd like to do eventually is like the vertical part of the timeline. And before, until like a month ago, I had them all kind of jumbled together, but I knew that I was eventually going to have them in their own rows. So they're in their own rows, and you're reading the King's List across the 500 page, but then you want to go, okay, so what's the next? You don't want to have to go all the way to the top of the page to click to the next page and then go back down again. You want it to be convenient where you just click next and you can just zoom over, and that way when you can link next forward to back with all of the different kingdoms, as well as linking from the top to all of the different pages on the current time frame, and then jumping around to the other time frames and going to those pages like a grid, and then going to the more zoomed out ones on the more zoomed out timeline. When you tie it all together and all the links work and everything, you're basically like moving along, along a map, a giant map, and then you can zooming in and out of time. You know what I mean? It's going to be amazing to check out, because you'll get a visual idea in your head of my timeline if it was like placed in a map. But it's a map that you can't actually make physically. You can't paste it on the ground because it's like quantum jumping, like black hole, wormholes, um, non-locality, time travel, time and space travel. Yeah, you can, but I mean, you can get an idea in your head, and or you could, well, in a lot of ways you could make it physically, which I'd like to do. Like, I should find a big building, like a big wall somewhere, and then like print it up and then just laminate the shit out of it. Maybe there's a way to print it and laminate it cheaply, I don't know. Yeah, and then just get it up on a wall, the timeline, somehow. That would be cool. But anyway, and I found out that putting the links like that is really easy. It's not that time consuming, because all you have to do, my timeline, everything is so gridded that once you figure the grid out, you just So to get the links working on that, all you do is open up all the pages in a certain time frame, like from 500 to 1,000, and then you go into one page and you paste on the image to go next, and you keep it blank, and then you just paste all of that down, all the kingdoms on both, and then you go to the next one, and then you get that image and paste it all down. and then you go in again, and then all you have to do is just type in. You know, you just double click on the link, then you push the right arrow, which takes you right to the end, and then you just hit pound sign, and then the name of the kingdom, and it's a really quick process. Click on the image because the images are already there. You already placed them. Click on the image. Double click on the link. Right arrow button. Pound sign. Name of the country. That's all you have to do because the countries are already linked, are already anchored because of how the links work anyway from top to bottom. So once you do that, it's ready to go and it works. And I was checking it and it was working. So yeah, I'm super excited to get those links to work in. It's not going to work right the first time because some of the names are kind of inconsistent, not always the most consistent. So you kind of have to then zero in and fix it. But no, I think I'll be happy with how quick this is going to go by. Yeah, super fired up with that. And then the links from the king from top to bottom, the horizontal part to the vertical part of the kings. I think that's going to buy pretty quickly too, because I think I pretty much already made the links to the top from the dates of the king. So all I have to do is go back to the king and then just double click on the first word. You can't have two words. Just the first number, like the beginning of the reign of the king, and then you just paste in the dynasty and then just type in the number of the king, go down, and then you build it across. So yeah, I might be able to. It won't be by the end of this month, but maybe by the end of the year, I could get the timeline working, like all the links working, and all the kingdoms there. Like you could go to next to the kingdom and up and down, and that's where it's going to come alive. Is when the links start working. So I was listening to the audio book about the fall of the Bronze Age collapse, and then another speech about lecture about the Indo-Europeans and Koyoltek is interesting. And yeah, and I was on the phone a lot today. Tomorrow, yeah, as far as these links, yeah, just work on them for a few more days. It's fun because I can see how it's going to work. So tomorrow when I do the video, I'll probably still be working on that. And studying Indo-European. You can get so detailed history. Now that we have the genetics, you can create your own history story. It's amazing, history doesn't end with 3200 BC with the beginning of Egypt and Mesopotamia and Indus Valley. Now it's boom, history doors just got opened up to all the way back, all the these archaeological finds and then the DNA. You can just make a consistent history all the way back. So I want to fill that in. That's super exciting. Anyway, enough talking for now. Check out my timeline by the end of the year. It's going to be really good. It gets better every day, but yeah, make sure to check it out by the end of the year. It's going to be nice. It's exciting to me because I'm the person who made it. So I'll be able to use the timeline to then practice and take the history test and see if I can memorize history. I might be able to memorize history because of this timeline, all the work I put into it. That'd be cool. Or at least test the limits of my memory power. So, okay, enough talking. Talk to you tomorrow.